Lakaya Chakshurunmilitamyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadavahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinbandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So thank you for coming everyone. Today is chapter 10, the Vibhuti Yoga. Let's get started. Or the opulence of the absolute. It's a very nice chapter. Krishna is giving us chance to think of him more and more and find him more and more in this world. Let's pay our obeisances to Shri Radha Govinda for enhancing our understanding of Krishna consciousness. The deities are so beautiful. This is what we did yesterday. The most confidential knowledge. Bhagavad-Acharya Jnana. And then ways to approach Krishna and sweetness of exclusive devotion. Chapter 10, this is what it is. Nutshell, Krishna is unknowable and Krishna is source of all. So Krishna creates everything, but for Krishna, no one knows him in completeness. That's what he's going to say. Pure Bhakti, essence of Bhagavad Gita. This is Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, 8 to 11. I will come to it. Then Arjuna accepts Krishna's supreme position and Lord Krishna describes his vibhutis or opulences. Krishna says, the Supreme Lord said, my dear friend, mighty armed Arjuna, listen again to my supreme word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit and which will give you great joy. So Krishna again emphasizes for the third time in this chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. First he said in 7th, he also said actually in 8th, then in 9th, and in the 4th time actually, 10th, listen. He's giving a lot of emphasis in listening. He's not giving a lot of emphasis in seeing or smelling or talking. He's saying listen, 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 each and every, touch, renew, touch, renew. So we must be intelligent enough to understand that and accept the fact that Krishna can be known only by listening about him or hearing about his glories from a bona fide source, and when we hear that, then what happens? It is for our benefit. We become benefited when we hear about Krishna, and Krishna knows it. Don't underestimate the power of hearing about Krishna here. That is why Srila Prabhupada, I saw Prabhupada memories, Prabhupada disciples were recording the glories of Prabhupada, and one of them said that Prabhupada, he used to speak his lectures into the microphone so that it is recorded. Even if he used to give Bhagavatam class in the morning or conversations or morning walks, there will always be a person walking who is going to be recording what Prabhupada is saying. So much so that sometimes when the record capacity will get over, Prabhupada will wait for the new record to come before he would speak. So they were sharing that it is so astonishing that why will Prabhupada wait? Why can't he just go on talking? What's there to record so much? But he said, now we realize that Prabhupada has done a great service to us by recording his voice, by giving us these classes so that we can hear about Krishna. When you hear from the mouth of or lips of a pure devotee, it acts in the heart. You know, if we can hear from a Sahajiya Bhakta is a devotee who acts like a devotee, who's not a devotee, who dresses like a devotee, who has, maybe have tulsi beads in the neck, has tilak on the forehead, is wearing a devotee dress, may even talk like a devotee, but they are not devotee in the heart. That's Sahajiya Bhakta. One may temporarily feel very, in ecstasy, but it's not going to last. It's not going to last. You cannot take Krishna in your life just by hearing from a person who's not a devotee. But when you hear from a pure devotee, when you hear Srila Prabhupada, it is completely different experience. That is why I emphasize so much every day, everybody in the whole world must hear Srila Prabhupada. So Krishna is again saying that listen again. And what will happen by listening? That it will give you great joy and it will benefit you enormously. Name vidusura ganaha prabhavam na mahashrayaha aham adihi deva na maharshi nam cha sarvasaha. Neither the host of demigods nor the great sages know my origin, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and the sages. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme lord of all the worlds, he undiluted among men is freed from all sins. So, this question that who is the origin of Krishna, even demigods and great sages are asking. And Krishna is saying they don't know. They will not understand. They cannot understand my origin. Why? Because I am their cause. You see, this is easy to understand. For us to understand the life of our own parents is difficult. They may tell us about their life. They may tell us that we were living like this, our life was like this. Still, it is difficult to correlate that what their life was like. So similarly, the great sages and demigods are caused by Krishna. The origin is from Krishna. So they cannot understand Krishna's origin, and Krishna knows it. But Krishna gives us a glimpse that how can he be understood? That if he who knows me as the unborn, and this we studied in uh, chapter 4, that janma karma chame divyam yojanati tatvataha. Whoever understands my origin as divyam, transcendental, unborn, as a beginningless. Our life is bounded by time factor, past, present, future, right? These are the three aspects of time which are acting on our life: past, present, and future. Krishna does not have those time factors, but because we have no experience of such a thing in this world, we think that it does not exist. So Srila Prabhupada says that we should not try to understand Krishna by our own menial experience, by our own experience of life. So, okay, and then thinking that Krishna is like one of us. No, Krishna is forever. And whoever, there's so many devotees in every yuga, in every planet, in every living being, even in every species, who when they realize Krishna, they are going back to Krishna. They have been. Scriptures are mentioning so many devotees. Lad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Arjuna, so many, Queen Kunti, so many of them. Write me some of the devotees that you know that are pure, that were pure and were going back to Krishna. Why don't you write it to me? We can think more. Mother Sati, Lord Shiva, pure devotees. Even Lord Brahma in 11th canto and 10th canto he comes. Prahlad Maharaj, Uddhava, okay. Mirabai, okay. The Supreme Lord. So, but Krishna says, know me like this. Just hear about me and know me like this because you have no chance of knowing me from your experience. How? As unborn, as beginningless. If it is unborn, then what is the question of beginning? Born means beginning, right? Is unborn. As the Supreme Lord of all lords, of all the worlds, he undiluted among men is freed from all sins. So to get this conception that Krishna is like this, one has to be released from their sins. Very nice, thank you. The 7 great sages, and before them 4 other great sages, and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, are born out of my mind, and all the creatures in these planets descend from them. So this is coming out from Krishna's mind, and then he's describing that this is described in great detail in Srimad Bhagavatam, and then he's describing that how the population of the planets increased initially. Okay, Vibha, why don't you chant? Is she there? Vibha, are you there? Okay, Etam Vibhutim. Okay, go
Ekam
ahead.
vibhutim yogam cha mamayato veti tattvataha so vikalpena yogena yujyate natra samshayah.
Thank you very much. He who knows in truth this glory and power of mine engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. So Krishna knows. It's not a show bottle spiritualism. Srila Prabhupada coined this term, show bottle spiritualism. That spiritualism is not a show bottle. It's not for some cheap adoration from public. Then what is it for? What is it for? Krishna says there, for unalloyed devotional service to Krishna. Such a person will not have any hesitation in engaging their life in Krishna's service. There's going to be no hesitation. That is why it is called unalloyed. There's going to be no impediment. Such a person does not see any impediment. Such a person sees an obstacle as an opportunity. This is my opportunity to serve Krishna more, more, more. Once they are convinced, like Srila Prabhupada. It's not easy to go, to live alone and to start a movement and to interact with people and not to even speak their language properly, and then launch the movement worldwide to convince people, to make people fall at one's lotus feet, and then make them go here, there, everywhere across the world and say that go and chant Hare Krishna on the streets in every town and village. Not easy. Well, if someone is doing it and you notice it, like Srila Prabhupada did it, understand. There's an unalloyed devotee. No reason, no other reason than to serve Krishna. So this scene is, which scene is it? You can type to me in the chat. What is happening in this scene? Where is Krishna coming? So this is Krishna entering Mathura. And when he was entering Mathura, Krishna and Balram, the gate, then they were so attractive. This is described in first canto Srimad Bhagavatam, that everybody around the whole city, whatever they were doing, they stopped and they started looking at Krishna. Everybody. So Vyasdev takes account. See all these people back there on the mountain, all these ladies on the top of the houses, all the people across the city, they just are looking at Krishna. Even the animals are looking at Krishna. The cow is looking at Krishna. Everybody. They just stop. Krishna is so attractive. Krishna is like sun. You know, the sun comes and everybody once in a while like looks at the sun and appreciates the brightness or comments about it. Like that, Krishna is. Everybody. Krishna is visible to everyone. Uh, because he's so attractive. He's all attractive. That is why his name is Krishna. Now starts the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita means the four verses 8, 9, 10, 11, which give us the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. So what does it mean? I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Aham sarvasya prabhavo means I am the source of what? All spiritual, all material. Matta sarvam pravartate means everything is emanating from me. Iti matva bhajante mam means one who understands this truth about me, sings of my glories. Bhajante mam, Buddha bhava samanvitaha, and engages in my devotional service with all their heart. So I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So there are three things in Vedic knowledge. All the Vedanta sutras culminate in these three things: Sambandha, Abhidheya, Prayojan, which I will explain. Just go through the verses. Our Sambandha means relationship. Like, what is my relationship with Krishna? Abhidheya means once the relationship is established, what is the activity in that relationship? What to do with it? And then Prayojan, what is the goal of that relationship? So Prabhupada gives example of a marriage. Let's say the parents get their children married. A daughter and a son get married from these families. So a sambandha is established, a relationship is established, right? Then what happens? It's not that the girl goes to her house and the boy goes to his house. No, then they stay together as grihasthas. What is the prayojan means? What is the activity now in that relationship? New relationship, what is the activity? That's called prayojan, activity. So what is the activity? Of course, the activity, primary activity should be to serve Krishna. That is why it is called Grihastha Ashram, where Krishna is in the center. But what is the goal? The goal is to have family. So that's prayojan. Like that. Similarly, what is the relationship between a living entity and Krishna? What is the relationship? The relationship is Krishna is the creator, I am created. Krishna says, I am the source of all spiritual and material world. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So I am created and Krishna is the creator. That is the relationship. Then Mat chitta mad gata prana bodhayantam parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about me. So Krishna is also thinking about his pure devotees. And the pure devotees are always thinking about Krishna. Their lives are surrendered. And they derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about Krishna. That is the prayojan. Means to serve Krishna, to remember Krishna, to think of Krishna. That is the activity. Once Krishna creates us, this is what we should do. We should be doing. Okay, so I'm going to show you this pure devotee.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
See, that's Srila Prabhupada teaching everyone how to dance to Hare Krishna. How many of us are going to foreign countries and doing Jagannath Rath Yatra and teaching people how to chant and dance on Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Okay, so don't think beauty is a common appearance. No. Tesham satata yukta nam bhajatam priti purvakam tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. I really like this verse because it's so encouraging. Krishna gives encouragement. One may think that, and one may feel subdued, that how will I understand Krishna ever in this life? How will I ever be able to do it? Krishna says, don't worry. Constantly devote yourself and worship me with love. I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So Krishna also acts with the devotee. So that is also a part of prayojan. And then what is the sambandha abhidaya prayojana? Abhidaya. I'm sorry. 10.8 is the sambandha, where it is said that Krishna is the creator and we are created. Then 10.9 and 10 is the abhidaya, the activity in that relationship. 10.11 is the prayojan, which is the goal of that relationship between the living entity and Krishna. Tesham evanukam partham aham ajnana jam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastho jnana deepena bhasvataha. Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So again, what is happening? In verse number 8, Krishna says, this is Sambandha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. That is Sambandha. Then Prayojan, or the activity, Abhidaya, which is the activity in a relationship, is the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about me. So this is the activity of a pure devotee. And then another activity, that Krishna gives the understanding by which the pure devotee can come back to Krishna. Okay, the prayojan is to go back to Krishna. Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the knowledge born of ignorance, so that their travel on going back to Krishna is unhampered, is easy. When Arjuna hears this, he goes in ecstasy. We are not in ecstasy because I'm not a pure devotee, because you're not hearing from a pure devotee. But Arjuna is hearing from a pure devotee. Can you hear, all of you?
Yes,
Can
Mataji.
hear. People are
Yes.
writing they can't hear. Please check your audio setting, whoever cannot hear. So Arjuna, after hearing this glories, offers heartfelt prayers to Krishna. He says, and we must memorize this. Please memorize this prayer and say it every day. To Krishna, verse number 12 and 13. Arjuna Uvacha. Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adi Devam Aham Vidhum Ajam Vibhum Ahustvam Rishaya Sarve Devarshi Naradas Tatha Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Brahman, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purifier, the absolute truth and the eternal divine person. Again, God is a person. You are the primal God, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all-pervading beauty. All the great sages, such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa, proclaimed this of you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. The first Arjuna says what he is realizing, that Krishna is Param Brahma, Param Dhama, and is Pavitram, pure, Paramam Bhavan, transcendental, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam. He is the original person, and he's unborn, and he's all pervading. Adi Deva Ajam Vibhum. Then one may think that, oh, wait a minute, but Arjuna is Krishna's friend, so it is not uncommon for a friend to glorify another friend out of affection. So to nullify that concept in the mind of a reader, he immediately gives the reference that all the great sages such as Narada, Asta, Devla, Vyasa also proclaimed this of you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. So he immediately says, wait a minute, it's not just me, but this realization of me is also validated by great rishis and great devotees like Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa. And now I have this benefit of hearing the same thing from your lotus mouth. Some people say that why is Krishna so proud that he is glorifying his opulences. This question is already answered. Okay, in 10.1 is already answered that actually Krishna is the origin of all, and no one can know Krishna because Krishna is the origin of all. So if no one can know Krishna, then who can talk about Krishna in completeness? Nobody. So Krishna has to talk about himself, because there is no one else who can talk about Krishna the way he can. So it's not proud. Krishna is God. Let's say that somebody is a leader of a country, and then they say that hello, I am this and this. I am the leader of this country. Wherever they go in the whole world, they say I am the leader of this country. That doesn't mean that they are proud. They are stating the fact. Other person may take it as a proud. That's up to their contamination of the heart, because we are conditioned and we are sinful to think about like that. But the other person is just stating a fact that this is what it is. Krishna is stating a fact that he is God, and God means this, 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 and this, because there is no one else that Krishna can There is no one else who can. There is no one else who can talk about Krishna as Krishna can. So it's not. What is that for him to be proud? And even if he's proud, he's unlimitedly proud because he deserves it. Okay, he deserves it. Don't lock Krishna up in any of the concepts that, oh, Krishna is like this, Krishna is like that. Because what happens if we try to lock Krishna up like this, like that, like this, then we lose the chance. Krishna is not the loser. We lose the chance to become Krishna conscious and to understand Krishna more and more, more and more, more and more. Okay? And Krishna is not proud, or Krishna is not whatever. So many things I've heard now, 19 years. Krishna is what else should we say? So boastful, or so like vocal about his opulences. Why not? There is nobody else who can tell about Krishna. Krishna has to speak about himself. Krishna is talking out of compassion for us. That listen, you are attracted to somebody's greatness, somebody's strength, somebody's renunciation, somebody's beauty, somebody's knowledge, somebody's opulences. Come to me. I have all that. Krishna wants to claim us back. That is why he says, you are going here, there, and attracting. We are searching for somebody who is, these 6 things attract a living entity in this world. Period. There is nothing, no 7th thing. These 6 things attract somebody's beauty, somebody's knowledge, somebody's strength, somebody's renunciation, somebody's power, and somebody's, what is the 6th thing? Fame, Aishwarya, fame. So these 6 things attract a living entity in this world. So Krishna wants to stop that wandering attraction here and there everywhere, and wants us to bring our focus on him. That is why he says, you're attracted to beauty, I am beautiful, meditate on me. You're attracted to somebody's knowledge, I am the source of all that knowledge, meditate on me. You're attracted to somebody's strength, I am the more powerful. So he's going to talk about it now. Take it like that, so that Krishna is giving me so much chance, because Krishna's position does not change. By my menial understanding, his position is not going to change. But if I take it that Krishna is so compassionate that he's giving me a chance to think about him alone and take away my intelligence from here, there, everywhere, my mind, my meditation, my concentration, and ekagra buddhi, or vyavasatmika buddhi, giving me a chance to become a vyavasatmika buddhi, fixed in his conception by glorifying himself. Otherwise, if Krishna doesn't speak, then we don't know. And if we don't know, then what? Then we are going to be fixing our attraction here, there, and getting going down in the material pool of birth and death. What do we get about hearing about all these big people, so-called big people of the world? What is happening in their lives? Everybody is searching for it. Everybody, the smart devices. What are they doing all day? Searching. Krishna wants to stop that search. That is why he talks. A devotee talks like this. He takes like that. He goes on to pray his heartfelt prayers to Krishna. Sarvam eta ritat manne ye mam yan mam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagwan vyaktim vidur devahi danavaha. Oh Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the gods nor demons, oh Lord, know thy personality. See, again, he is accepting that nobody knows Krishna's personality, then Krishna has to talk. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own potencies, O origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, O Supreme Person, Lord of the universe. Then he says, Krishna, how should I meditate on you? In what various forms are you to be contemplated, O blessed Lord? Tell me again in detail. So a devotee is never tired. Huh? A non-devotee says Krishna is proud, and a devotee says, tell me more, Krishna, tell me more. This is so nice. Tell me again in detail, O Janardana, Krishna, of your mighty potencies and glories. For I never tire of hearing your ambrosial words. So see, so what is that verse in 15th chapter, first verse? What is that verse that that the banyan tree is upside down? Urdhva mula madho shakham ashwatham prahuravyayam chandamshi yasya parnani yastam vedasa vedavrit. Maybe I'm messing up the last line, but Urdhva mula madho shakham means this world is compared to a upside down banyan tree. So whatever is highest over there becomes lowest over here. So we think that talking about glories of Krishna is less potent because Krishna is proud. What is this? Krishna is proud. Krishna is clearing his position. There is nobody else who can talk about me. Then a devotee wants to hear. Krishna talks for a devotee. If it is bothering for someone, then they should not listen. But a devotee relishes, like Arjuna. He says, "Tell me again in detail." He wants to hear more and more. A non-devotee will say, "Too much. It's too much." But devotee will know that this is a chance given to me by Krishna so that I can think of him here, there, and glorify. There is a story. There's a story. A beggar and a cobbler and a brahmana. They both were devotees of Krishna. So Narad Muni was once roaming around, and he went to the brahmana. So brahmana was very busy in doing the deity worship and rituals, and he received Narad Muni with great respect. That Narad Muni, please come, please have a seat. And then he said, Narad Muni, you are always going to visit Vishnu. When you go this time, can you please ask him, when am I coming back to him? Narad Muni says, all right. And then Narad Muni goes to a cobbler. A cobbler was sitting under a banyan tree, huge banyan tree. He was unclean, and cobbler means dealing with animal skin, shoes, right? So the cobbler also received Narad Muni to the best of his capacity and also asked the same question, that when you go to Krishna this time, can you please ask him, when am I coming back? Narad Muni said, okay. So Narad Muni went to Vishnu and asked that this Brahmana and this cobbler want to know, when are they coming back to you? Vishnu, Krishna said, tell the beggar, a cobbler, that he's coming back to me after this life, and tell the Brahmana that he's going to take 100 more lives. Whoa, Narad Muni was like, but how is that possible? Because the Brahmana's life is dedicated to chant your Vedas, to worship you, to offer arti, to eat prasadam. How come? So Vishnu or Krishna says, do this experiment. When you go back and they ask you, what is Krishna doing, tell them that he was passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. Okay. So Narad Muni comes back, and Narad Muni goes to Brahmana, and Brahmana asks, so what did he say? Well, he said that you will come back to him after 100 more lives. The Brahmana gets a little agitated. He says, Narad Muni, I pay my respectful obeisances to you, but it is hard for me to understand that why am I going back after 100 lives? So please tell me, what was Vishnu doing when you asked him this question? So Narad Muni said that actually he was passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. Oh, so the Brahmana says, oh, that's not possible. How can you pass an elephant through an eye of a needle? No. Okay, so Narad Muni leaves. Then Narad Muni goes to Cobbler, and Cobbler was again sitting under the huge banyan tree and mending the shoes. And when Narad Muni came, he asked him the same question. What did Vishnu say? When am I coming back? So Narad Muni said, oh, Vishnu said you're coming back to him at the end of this life. So the cobbler was very happy and was crying in ecstasy. So he asked, what was the Lord of my heart was doing when you asked him this question? Then Narad Muni said, oh, he was passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. So the cobbler became more ecstatic. That Krishna is so great, he's passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. So Narad Muni says, how do you trust this statement? That Krishna is passing elephant through the eye of a needle. How do you trust this? So cobbler said, well, why not? See, I am sitting under a very big banyan tree. If you have seen banyan tree is huge. It has like roots up and down, branches up and down. And then there was this seed which was lying on the ground. Okay, he picks it up, the acorn. the seed of banyan tree, the acorn, and then he shows it to Narad Muni. And he said, see, Krishna has packed such a big tree inside this seed. Why can't he pass an elephant through the eye of a needle? Why not? It is possible. For Krishna, it is possible. And that's how a devotee is. Devotee is decorated by the realizations gifted to that person by Krishna. Others are mentally speculating because of their own realizations or experience or menial knowledge. And they say, why Krishna is talking about himself? Because Krishna is proud. Just, we don't appreciate this. This is going to be a little bit fun now. The blessed Lord said, so now Arjuna is saying, tell me more. Tell me more where I can see you, Krishna. Tell me more. So Krishna is going to say, because the devotee is requesting. Krishna is Bhaktavatsala, whatever you want. So the blessed Lord said, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulences are limitless. Okay, now we are 300 people, over 300 people in this class. So I'm going to unmute and I'm going to ask you who is what. These are the opulences described. So please, let's see how painful it becomes. Generally, it goes, all right, you have an ability to unmute. So who is this? Who is this? Yeah, very nice.
Indra.
Lord Indra.
Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva. Brahma. Ashwamedh.
Planet is this?
Moon.
What is this?
Om.
Who is this?
Brahma.
Brahma.
Lakshmi.
Buddha.
Gautam Buddha.
Who is this?
Sri Ram.
Ram.
What season
That's Krishna.
is this? Our bearing? What season?
Flowers.
Flowers come.
Mataji, you keep confirming.
Okay, well, spring season. Which cow is this?
Mata.
Kamdhenu.
Kamdhenu. Who is this?
Narad Muni.
Bharatmani.
Who is this?
Arjuna.
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 Who is this?
Parashurama.
Who is this?
Garuda.
Garuda.
Krishna.
What is this?
Sri Krishna.
Mahamantra.
Who is this?
Prahlad.
What is this?
Prahlad Maharaj.
What animal is this?
Machavatara. Machavatara.
Hi. Who is this sitting on top of a peacock?
Subramanya.
Okay. Who is this?
Adishesha.
Under the water, the god of
Adishesha.
Varuna.
Who is this? The one with the rope and
Shani Bhagavan.
danda. Yamaraj. What animal is this?
Lion.
Who is this?
Vishnu.
Finance officer of demigods.
Kubera.
I always get confused with this. Who is this? Anyone knows?
A man created by Vishnu.
Who is this?
Anyone created by Vishnu.
I don't know.
Indra.
Indra is
No.
Which elephant is this?
Gajendra. Airavata.
Airavata. Okay.
They all are sons and daughters of Vishnu.
Okay. Thank you. So, Krishna describes his opulences. I think there are 84 opulences mentioned. That, okay, you want to see me? Of all the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of all the sources of light, I am the sun. Of all the Maruts, I am Marichi. Of all the stars, I am moon. Of all the Vedas, I am Samaved. Of all the demigods, I represent Indra. Of all the senses, I am the mind. So mind is the center of all the senses. Of all that lives, I am the living force or life. Of the Rudras, I represent Lord Shiva. Of Yakshas and Rakshasas, I represent Kuvera. Of all the priests, I represent Brihaspati. So like that, we can go on. Of all the generals, I am represented by Skanda. Of all the bodies of water, I represent ocean. So we see all these things, or we know, or we hear about them. We should know that they are the representations of Krishna. All of them. You can go over the list. We made the whole list for you to go. Okay, like in women, Krishna says he's 7 things: fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, faithfulness, and patience. Everything. Okay, so furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or unmoving, that can exist without me. So there is nothing that can exist without Krishna. It is a matter of understanding only. It is not that if I am not understanding that Krishna is not there. Krishna is not dependent on my understanding. Krishna is abhigyana swarat. He says it, I am there, he is there. Now an intelligent person will go and discover it and surrender, like Arjuna. A non-intelligent person will not believe and there not get benefited. So there is no being, moving or unmoving, that can exist without me. So there is nothing. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Again, Krishna is saying, I have infinite opulences. I have only given a glimpse of my opulences for your understanding. Actually, Krishna himself does not know how much opulences he has. He does not understand. It's there. He does not know that, oh my God, oh, I have this also. Or he himself is astonished by his energies sometimes. You see, in Brahma Vimoha Leela, in 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, when Brahma gets bewildered and doubtful whether Krishna is God or not, and to test the supremacy of Krishna, he steals Krishna's friends, Gopas and animals. Okay, so now Krishna expands himself into all those animals and friends who were taken away by Brahma. And when Brahma puts them to yoga nidra, to a mystical sleep, and comes back to see what's happening now, he's astonished to see that Krishna is God. Okay, and then Brahma is also astonished at that moment that Brahma also gets bewildered. So Brahma is a pure devotee, but he also gets bewildered that whether I'm God or not. So Krishna also thinks at that moment that, wow, this is amazing. Even my pure devotee can get bewildered. The other incident where Krishna himself does not know what he has, but he realizes it later, is Aghasura pastime. Aghasura was a snake demon. So Aghasura was sent by Kansa to swallow Krishna and his friends and all his animals. So he comes in the form of a huge snake and he opens his mouth so wide that his upper lip is touching the sky and the lower lip looks to be touching the lower planetary system. So huge. So the boys see that and think that this is a cave and they want to go inside the cave and have fun inside. So they tell Krishna, let's go inside this newly found cave in the forest. Krishna can see that that is the snake demon. He warns his friends and don't go. It's a demon. But then they say, no, you are there. You will protect us. We want to play, so we are going. So that moment also, Krishna is astonished that my energy is so powerful. Here I am telling them don't go, but they are still going. So there is no end to my divine manifestations. They're limitless. But Krishna has described a little bit for our understanding. Okay, Krishna is so compassionate. Okay, Vibha, you can chant this verse. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam.
Yes, Mataji.
यद्यद् विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमद् ऊर्जितम् एव वा तत्तत् एव वगच्छात्वं मम तेजोमयसम्भवम्.
Thank you. Know that all beautiful, glorious, and mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. So they just spring out from a spark of his splendor. It's not that Krishna has to work so hard to make this world, work so hard A living entity has to work hard. That's the nature of this material world. Work hard. The spiritual world is not like that. But when we look at something very magnanimous, very beautiful, we must understand immediately that this is coming from Krishna. And when we are trying to love Krishna, when we are trying to dedicate our life for Krishna, then how can we be envious of such thing from anybody else? We cannot. A devotee is completely non-envious. Why? Because they will see the loving hand of Krishna behind it. And a non-devotee will be like, whoa, how come they have all these and we don't have all this? These things don't exist in the life of a devotee. Then how does a devotee think? So Krishna says, okay, these are all my opulences. You asked me, I told you, and if you want to meditate on me through that, that's fine. But athava bahunetena kim gyatena tavarjuna vistabhyam idam kritsam ekamsha sitho jagat. For what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So he is maintaining and supporting and pervading the entire universe by a single fragment, by his Paramatma feature, or by Garbhodaksha feature. Everybody is maintained. We are so dependent on Krishna, and we remain dependent on Krishna, even in the material world or spiritual world. When we understand our dependence on Krishna, and we understand the compassion and love for him to maintain us, then only we become devotees. There is no question of being independent without Krishna. Actually, our independence is also a dependent independence. How? Let's say that so many people talk, I am so independent. Okay, let's analyze how independent are you. First of all, if to be independent, so-called independent, you have to be dependent on your skill set or your education. So there you go, dependent on your education or skill set, right? And then dependent on the source of income. So your independence is dependent on the source of your income, right? And then it is also dependent on other people's assessing your performance. If somebody is running their own business, then the growth of the business is going to depend on how they're catering to their customers. So it is dependent on the customers. If somebody is working in an office, then their performance will be judged by the superiors, right? So it is dependent on somebody else's judgment. So where is the complete independence? It's dependent independence. Krishna is not like that. And then we can go on. My happiness is dependent on me having this family. So many people feel they're incomplete because they don't have this and this and this and that. But Krishna conscious person, so I'm complete. Why? Because I'm coming from complete. And I have a relationship with complete. What is that? Om Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Avishishyate. I am complete. Why? Because my source is complete. My source is 100% complete. I am not deficient in anything. And now my duty is, how can I connect myself to that link again? How can I get connected to Krishna again, once again, which I forgot. And now I'm trying to link myself here, there, everywhere to complete my incompleteness. Never. It is never going to be successful. We can go on. Without Krishna, nothing will be successful. We have a dichotomy. There is no balance in today's world. We put out on the social media the pictures of the happy life. Look at our photographs, so happy. Go visit the person, so sad. They're so sad inside the heart. But a devotee is no duplicity. No, it's not like, okay, I'm happy in the class and I'm unhappy behind. No, if I'm completely keeping my consciousness or training myself to be Krishna conscious, there is no question of mode of ignorance. So this is what we did today. Krishna is unknowable and is source of all. Okay, so Krishna is the source of all, is the origin of all. But for Krishna, no one knows him in completeness. So there is a need for Krishna to talk about himself, which Krishna describes in 1st to 7th verse. Name vidu sura ganaha. And Krishna, then the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Pure bhakti, essence of Bhagavad Gita is described in 8 to 11 chapter. Machita mad kata prana. 8th verse, the relationship, the sambandha is established between the living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is the sambandha? Krishna is the creator, I am created. What is the abhidaya or activity in that? That my life should be, the life of a pure devotee is dedicated to singing glories of Krishna, and they derive Tushyanti Charamanticha. They derive great pleasure in talking and enlightening each other about Krishna. A non-devotee cannot understand the life of a devotee. Like a devotee cannot understand the life of a non-devotee. So what is night for them is day for a devotee. What is day for devotee is night for a non-devotee. So they cannot understand each other's life. So for the non-devotee, they think Hare Krishna, what is there in it? How can you do it every day? So you miss out on colors of life. You miss out, like you're coming every day, right? It's not easy to come every day. It's not easy. But you're coming. Some of you may be facing some obstacles from here, from friends, from family, from anyone. It's possible, quite possible. Because they don't understand that what is there to hear about the same person every single day. But we know every time we sing about him, every time we talk about him, there is so much more nectar, pure nectar. How is it possible for anybody to talk about Krishna every day? Because it is Anandam Buddhi Vardhana, it's transcendental happiness. So Abhidaya, then Prayojan, what is the goal? The goal is Krishna, accept me back. I am lost for so many lifetimes here, there. Now enough is enough. So person goes back to Krishna. And Arjuna accepts Krishna's supreme position. Arjuna is not arguing. And he surrenders. He offers prayers and he asks Krishna to talk more about himself. So that is described in 12 to 18 verse. That sarvam etad ritam manye. Then Krishna describes his vibhutis, 19 to 42. Divyam hi atma vibhutayaha. So Krishna describes for our understanding. So we can see Krishna here, there, everywhere, and become Krishna conscious and hear about him with proper concept, proper concentration, proper understanding, not just dependent on our hearing power. Okay, so that ends up the summary of chapter 10. Please go back and hear and read. When you're reading, your mind is hearing. So do that as well. I do want to go over this SQEQ again today. We should be able to finish it. Is it okay, admins, if we do it for another 10-15 minutes, then we can take some questions?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So we finished till 90. So when I finished this Dr. Frog philosophy, then I finished telling that if you take a fish out of an ocean and you try to make it happy with so many allurements, will the fish be happy? No, because it's missing the ocean. Like that, we are now missing Krishna. We are trying to be happy here, there, everywhere. Many years ago, now Anishtaru was giving class, I was sitting in the class and he said, when we are traveling, don't we have a tendency to sit in the window seat? If we can, most of us want to sit on the window seat and we are looking. Or when we are reading the news or when we are looking through our phones, we are searching. You're searching. What are we searching for? What are we looking for outside? What is the soul looking for in this world? We are looking for Krishna. We are really looking for Krishna. Now, if we see these things, that, let's see, what video is this?
The universe we observe has
It's
precisely.
not nice. So let's say when we see this car, you can write to me. Okay, a very, very expensive car, very top level car. So do we think that it just came out of nowhere? One day there was a explosion somewhere in the universe and a car came out. Do we think like this, or there is a creator? Oh, polling questions. Okay, let me see if there is a question in the polling. So there is a creator, right? There is a company which is, we can see here, it's written Ford. So we know some company manufactured it. And then we use so many devices, so many computers, smart devices. So we know someone assembled it, right? And when we see a master timepiece or a nice watch, and nowadays is a fashion for, I should replace this with a smartwatch. And every year they come up with more features in smartwatches. So we know that somebody assembled it, but somebody designed it. There's a brain behind it. We may not know how that person looks like, what is their background, but we at least know that there's a person behind it. When we see gigantic aircrafts, then these airplanes flying in the sky, we know some company manufactured it. When we see wonderful sculptures in the art museum, then we know someone carved it. So common sense rule, any creation must have an intelligent creator. We don't have an experience of any creation without a creator, an intelligent brain. So don't you think there should be a creator for the following? Look at the arrangement of the colors. Look at the perfection of the features. You think this has come out from nowhere? Beautiful birds. Look at this peacock. Such nice arrangement. You think that it has come out from nowhere? Or this? Or a small flower. Srila Prabhupada said one can become Krishna conscious just by studying a flower. Arrangements, beautiful landscapes. So many nice places in the world. All these things which we take for granted, or the intelligence given to this particular living entity, or these things, or the butterfly. So now the foremost creation, we the humans, you think nobody designed us? We just came out? The most sophisticated computer in the universe is the human brain. The human brain can store more information than all the libraries in the world. This is Dr. Richard Restock, the neurologist, and he wrote the book called Brain. Okay, another physician, another British psychologist. The human brain is made of trillions brain cells, and each one of these is more powerful and sophisticated than most computers around the planet today. So the human brain is so powerful. Do you think no one designed it? It just came out like that? Who made the natural intelligence of this incredibly complex computer, the human brain? Who made it? An inquisitive mind will ask this question. Shouldn't this universe with wonderful creation have a super intelligent creator? So this is a very nice video, but it's in Germany, so you'll have to read the English version down.
Nun werde ich euch beweisen, dass Gott, wenn es ihn gibt, böse ist. Hat Gott alles, was existiert, erschaffen? Wenn Gott alles erschaffen hat, dann hat er auch das Böse geschaffen. Das bedeutet, Gott ist böse.
Herr Professor, existiert Kälte?
Was für eine Frage soll das sein? Natürlich existiert die Kälte. War euch noch nie kalt?
Nein, in der Tat, Herr Professor, die Kälte existiert nicht. Nach den Gesetzen der Physik ist das, was wir als kalt empfinden, nur das Fehlen von Wärme. Und existiert Dunkelheit, Herr Professor?
Selbstverständlich existiert sie.
Nein, sie ist nur das Fehlen von Licht. Wir können das Licht messen, aber die Dunkelheit nicht. Das Böse existiert nicht, genau wie die Kälte und die Dunkelheit. Gott hat das Böse nicht geschaffen. Es ist das Ergebnis dessen, was Gottes Hand noch nicht berührt hat.
That's Albert Einstein in his childhood. So it's not that God made evil. It's the absence of love for God that makes one evil. So what do best of the scientists feel? The best of the scientists, what are they saying? There is a perfect brain behind all the natural physical laws. Perfect brain. Albert Einstein. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. So science without religion is lame, is like handicapped. Religion without science is blind. So both are needed. He goes on, I believe in God, who reveals himself in the orderly harmony of the universe. I believe that intelligence is manifested throughout all nature. The basics of scientific work is the conviction that the world is an ordered and comprehensible entity, and not a thing of chance. When I sit here and watch the mighty ocean, I can imagine the treasures hidden below the bed of the sea. When I see the clear blue sky above, I feel sky is the limit. When I cast my eyes around, I see the wonders and beauties of nature. Science must learn to live in harmony with all these magnificent gifts of God to humanity. So big scientists believe in God. He goes on. Everyone who is seriously involved in the pursuit of science becomes convinced that a spirit is manifested in the laws of the universe, a spirit vastly superior to that of man. Louis Pasteur, the inventor of smallpox vaccine, little science takes you away from God, but more of it takes you to him. Max Planck, for religion, God is at the beginning. For science, God is at the end. Dr. Anderson, he is the father of genetics and gene therapy. We do have a religious spiritual aspect to our being. This would be difficult to quantitate, but it exists. Calvin, if you think strongly enough, you will be forced by science to believe in God. Entropy is a theory of randomness, right? Everything in this universe is moving randomly. The universe is continuously increasing. But who is increasing it? That question still remains. It's increasing, but who is doing it? The second law of thermodynamics, what does it say? What does it say? That complexity, so there is, I'm forgetting the second law of thermodynamics. What does it say? If someone knows, can you write it down? But anyway, the bottom line is that we cannot quantitate anything existing without a creator behind it. We cannot just say that, okay, as we go on increasing the randomness of this universe, the universe will keep expanding. No, there's a plan behind that randomness. It's not unplanned randomness. So evolution of the species means constant and steady increase in order and complexity. The amoeba to man idea. The second law says no such thing can occur spontaneously. Overwhelming strong proofs of intelligent and benevolent design lie around us. The atheistic idea is so nonsensical that I cannot put it into words. So Lord Kelvin, the father of thermodynamics, is doing. Newton, this most beautiful system of the suns, planets, and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of an intelligent and powerful being. It's an arrangement. Dr. Werner Arber, I quoted him before also. The most primitive cell may require at least several hundred different specific biological macromolecules. How such already quite complex structure may have come together remains a mystery to me. The possibility of the existence of a creator, of God, represents to me a satisfactory solution to this problem. So all these great scientists are surrendering to God. Dr. Francis Collin, he is the director. I don't know if he is now, but a couple of years ago, of NIH, National Institute of in Maryland, where this COVID vaccine was also tested. The director of US National Human Genome Research Institute. Sorry. When you have, for the first time in front of you, this 3.1 billion letter instruction book that conveys all kinds of information and all kinds of mystery about humankind, you can't survey that going through page after page without a sense of awe. I can't help but look at those pages and have a vague sense that this is giving me a glimpse of God's mind. So even such great geneticists think like that. So SQ is the intelligence that is connected to the wisdom of the bygone ages. SQ involves asking fundamental questions. I'm revising. Who am I? What is the meaning of my life? What is real success? Who is God and what is my relationship with him? So it means an enhanced intelligence. It gives us balance of life. It gives real happiness. It makes us introspective and thoughtful. And it also helps us to manage our emotions properly. We don't, a person with a SQ, high SQ will not be like this. So it's a more wholesome life. More wholesome life, one lives more wholesome life mentally, intellectually, and spiritually. Okay, this is from Namanishta Prabhu. So whatever I presented, he gave it to us. So please visit us whenever COVID is over. Let me see if I have a polling question. Someone was asking. I don't know if I made a question for chapter 10. I am sorry if I did not. I don't have for chapter 10. Sorry, I didn't write it. Tomorrow I'll bring more. Sorry. So I guess we can make a breakout room. Sita Mataji and Rupa Mataji. So I'll make breakout room for 10 minutes. Is that okay with both of you?
Sure, Mataji.
Okay, so please make sure you both are in different rooms and then I'll bring you back. Okay, whoever is staying back in the main room can ask question. If you have a question, you can raise your hand. People are still leaving. Uday Prabhu, Hare Krishna, you can unmute.
Namaste, Mataji. Of the letters, I am the letter A, and among compound. Obviously, English was not there that time, so that obviously would mean that the first letter, which is probably A or O.
What is your question for me, Prabhu?
Of the letter A, sorry, of the letters, I am the first letter A. When Lord Krishna talks about the Vibhuti.
So, what is your question for me?
The question here is, I don't think A was there those days. So, that's the Bhagavad Gita tells that it is the starting letter. If so, which would
Verse
it
number
be?
33. We
33,
should go back
yes.
and read the verse number 33. What Prabhupada is saying. Just means at the beginning.
In short, if you can explain text 33, which you have skipped it.
No, I didn't skip it. I didn't read it. It's there on the table. Everything is there, which we presented to you. Akshara nam a karo asmi. Dvandha means compound word. Samasikshayas cha. Okay, what is Prabhupada writing? Of letters, I am the letter A, and the compound words, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators, I am Brahma. Akara, the first letter of the Sanskrit alphabet, is the beginning of Vedic literature. Without akara, nothing can be sounded. Therefore, it is the beginning of sound. In Sanskrit, there are also many compounds.
So, akara is what it tells. Probably
yes.
In English translation, it's mentioned as A. So, I was thinking maybe it might be Om, Omkara.
No, that is different. That is, Om is also mentioned. I'll show you the table. So, Om is also, Krishna says of the poetry, I am the Gayatri, and then he says, I am here. Letters is A, and then Om also is there. Let's go one slide up. Here, of the vibrations, I am Om. You can see this? Of the vibrations, I am Om.
That is vibration.
Yeah.
And it also mentions that of the compounded words, I am a dual compound.
Yeah,
so, what is this duality, Mataji?
Dual compounds, Dvanda, like Rama, Krishna. Prabhu, just read Prabhupada's purpose. Your question will be answered. In Sanskrit, there are also many compound words, of which dual words like Rama, Krishna is called Dvanda. In this compound, the words Rama and Krishna have the same form, and therefore compound is called dual. I cannot explain more than this right now. I'll have to listen to Prabhupada's lecture. But I know, I have read it in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. This is explained in more detail. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was defeating Keshav Kashmiri, there's a mention of this composition.
Text 35 tells of the hymns in Samaveda, I am the Brahat Sama. So, Lord Krishna tells that only refers to Samaveda. So, he does not refer to either the eldest Veda, which is the Rig Veda, or any other Veda.
He is talking about, Prabhu, he is everything. But in this Vibhutis, he is talking about his most prominent opulences. Most prominent. He is everything.
Okay.
But he's just talking, the Samaveda is rich with beautiful songs played by various demigods, of which of these songs is one of these songs is Brihat Sama, which has an acquisitive melody and is sung at midnight. So he's just talking about most prominent things.
Okay. No, that in itself is a question. Like if he is only talking about that 84 you mentioned opulences, prominent ones, why any other Veda did not come as a prominent one? So that was kind of my question, which was following that.
Because that's what he likes the most. Okay. You cannot question why Krishna likes that the most.
No, it's not the question. It's about getting clarified, saying that is Sama so special? If so, why? I am nobody to ask why did you take Sama, but the reason behind, if there is any, that's all.
Yeah, he's saying it. Prabhupada is writing that Samaveda, it has already been explained by Lord that amongst all the Vedas, he's Samaveda. The Samaveda is rich with beautiful songs played by various demigods. So it has good prayers. Of these, one of these songs is Brihad Sama. I think I am not so shastrik as you are. I'm not so literary. So I only go by what Prabhupada says. But you can ask Namanishta Prabhu. He will know more than what I know.
One thing is only when we understand the why we are reading what we are reading, it has become my habit that it will go register a little more better. So that's
right.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Pallavi Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Myself Sandeep. I have this question. See, one is complacency is something which is a limiting factor for human being, right? So to address this, is there anything which is mentioned in Gita, like how to overcome this in a day-to-day life?
Give me an example.
Well, yes, complacency, when I say in a day-to-day life.
Yes,
say,
so many of them. So give me one example.
Yeah, definitely. You say in the beginning of the year, New Year resolution, we think of doing many things. It could be even to start learning a new language or so. Okay, but very often the action will limited by itself. Like we don't really take action for complacency because we're already doing many things. And very often we don't make time for such thing as by ourselves. So complacency will set in and it won't really make us to take action. Okay, to handle is a state of mind. So is there anything which is mentioned in Gita to address this kind of state of mind?
Yeah, so the other word for complacency, I will say, is procrastination. I make a resolution, but I don't stick to it. I procrastinate. I will do it tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So yes, it is mentioned in 18th chapter. That kind of a thought is coming from mode of ignorance. So mode of ignorance is prominent. So one has to work to make, to situate themselves more in mode of goodness. Yes. So how do we do that? First beginning is chanting Hare Krishna. We cannot make or break a habit just by wanting to make or break a habit. There's got to be a higher ambition behind it. You cannot just stick to the habit. Let's say somebody is smoking a cigarette. Okay, let's say they know that it is injurious for their health. They know it. Somewhere they also want to give it up, but they can't. Just by wanting to give up, they can't. Why? Because they are very much in the mode of ignorance. They cannot. Unless and until somebody comes and tells us, well, by the way, why don't you taste something better so your mind is more satisfied? Why are they smoking? Because the mind seeks satisfaction and it gets it from that habit. But if somebody gets another habit which is higher, and this is called param drishtva nivartate. When we have a higher taste, these things will not act. The procrastination, the complacency that you're talking about is not going to be there. For example, Srila Prabhupada started Hare Krishna movement in the West, and most of the people who were joining Prabhupada were drug addicts. They were taking LSD and so many types of intoxicants. Srila Prabhupada just told them, chant Hare Krishna. He did not say, don't do this, don't do that. He did not give rules and regulations in the beginning. He told them, chant Hare Krishna. And he chanted with them. And it actually just, now you hear them. Now I hear them. They say that how just by chanting Hare Krishna and following Srila Prabhupada's orders, those things just, those laziness, those desire to stay high artificially just went away because now we were high transcendentally. So you got to work with like-minded people or people who are stronger than us. So you have to figure out what works for you. What works for me is if I am procrastinating, I immediately call upon my friend who is more energetic than I am. And it works for me.
Okay, got that. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Srinidhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I just when even the point 10.14 to 10.16, my internet was not very good, so I could not hear what you were saying. Can you just explain me in just short what was it, 10.14 to 10.16?
That is Arjuna's prayer to Krishna. When after Arjuna prays Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan,
Yes.
he's still in ecstasy. He's saying, I totally accept the truth. All that you have told me, neither gods nor demons, oh Lord, though I personality. First he heard from Krishna, then he processed it, and now he's saying, yes, now I accept it. Indeed, you alone know yourself, your own potencies, O origin of all, O Lord of all beings, God of gods, O Supreme Person, Lord of the universe. He's reaffirming, yes, only you can know about yourself. Okay, and the 10.6 is he's requesting Krishna that tell me more. I'm never tired of hearing. So how should I meditate on you? What various forms are you to be contemplated, O blessed Lord? Tell me again in detail, O Janardana Krishna, of your mighty potencies and glories, for I never tire of hearing your ambrosial words. So he's just setting a stone or setting a step for Krishna to speak more.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
No other questions? Is Vibha here? Okay, I'm gonna stop the breakout rooms. And let me see if there's a question in the chat. Edward Jenner and not the Louis Pasteur invented the smallpox vaccine. Louis Pasteur did the experiment on the horse, and then he injected that serum inside the body of his own child. Was it not the smallpox? And what vaccine was it? I thought it was Bacillus anthracis, so it was the anthrax vaccine. Establish the concept of entropy as a physical property of a thermodynamic system. Okay, so that's what he was saying. That the theory of randomness is not going to prove the expansion of the universe. There is a creator behind it. Hare Krishna Mataji, if Krishna wants everyone to come to him, then why doesn't he give that intelligence to everyone? Bulbul Mataji, are you here? You can unmute yourself. Why did he create so many different souls? Mataji, you can unmute. In fact, why did he create all this world and all? Well, he is giving intelligence. He is giving intelligence. What is the meaning of the intelligence? The meaning of the intelligence is one should be able to think and act rationally. So he is giving us a set of choices. Why he created all this? Why? Because we wanted it. I wanted this creation. So Krishna did it. I wanted to be away from Krishna and wanted to have a life without Krishna. Material world means life without Krishna. Try to live without Krishna. Spiritual world means living with Krishna, for Krishna. Okay, so I wanted to become away from Krishna. Krishna said, okay, then go and try it out. And why there are so many different type of there are not different type of souls. There are different type of desires. Constitutional position of a soul is same, Sat Chit Ananda, but there are different desires. What, Mataji? What are you saying? Okay. So, okay. So we are the one asking more and more varieties. So he is giving it. Actually, variety is the mother of enjoyment. But we are, let's say, okay, when I was a student, when we were studying about ultrasound, I remember many years ago, the doctor who was teaching us told us that ultrasound is based on a philosophy that there are 256 shades of gray. So if the ultrasound waves hit the solid organ, the color is this. If the ultrasound hits a liquid or water or bile or mucus, then the color is this. So it's based on philosophy. There are 256 shades of gray. So like that, this world is full of varieties. Why? Because somebody likes this, somebody likes that, somebody likes this, and Krishna is catering to everyone's demands. Yes, Vishwarupa will come in 11 chapters. Somebody was asking. I think there's no other question. Supreme Lord Krishna is all yogas, Vedas, Puranas, Ganges. Okay, everything else is your answers to my questions. Yes, admin, is there any question left unanswered? iPhone, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I have a question which was partly not answered in Sita Mataji's session. This is about the Varna system. Initially, the Varna system was based on the skills one possesses. But how is that it got changed over a period of time where Brahmana's son is called Brahmin? But if you extend this to our military today, our military of any country performs the role of Kshatriyas. But the military is composed of people from various caste systems. Could you explain to me why it got distorted in this way from the initial
Because we
start?
forgot Krishna.
Initially, a knowledgeable
we
person was
forgot.
known as a Brahmin. Who was it?
Go ahead, Ravi.
Sorry, Mataji, I'm not able to hear you.
Yeah, I'm also not able
My
to
question
hear you.
was the same thing. My question was same, and Mataji, I think if I'm not clear, I'll repeat it. Earlier, the caste system of Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra was created based on the abilities of a person. But over a period of time, all the Brahmin, the people who have come from the family of Brahmins are also called Brahmins, irrespective of their abilities. Similarly, Kshatriyas, there are no Kshatriyas now. Everybody, so many castes join the military and they perform the dharma of a Kshatriya in fighting for the country or protecting the country. How is that it got distorted? Is the
Yes,
system...
everything it's going to get more and more distorted because we are forgetting Krishna. No one is following the Varnashram Dharma. Everyone is following a concoction because everyone is self-centered. No one is Krishna-centered. Prabhupada wanted to establish Varnashram Dharma again. This is a big project in ISKCON right now. It's not been done yet perfectly. So your conception is perfectly right that yes, how can be somebody a Brahmin by birth? And how can these people who are heart of a Shudra don't want to fight, but they go and become a fighter on account of some ulterior benefit? But the nature is not to be fight, can be called as the Kshatriya. They're not. I'm agreeing with you. How did it get distorted? Because we became self-centered. We took Krishna out of our life. So when we are self-centered means we are exploiting things. Exploitation begins, not service. Okay.
Okay,
That's why
Mataji.
we need people like you who can help us to establish Varnashram Dharma once again.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. I have one question about this Vibhuti system which you told just now, Krishna Vibhutis. Krishna Vibhutis. Just wanted you to explain that what exactly these Vibhutis Krishnaji was referring to while talking in the 10th verse, the 10th chapter.
Okay, it's easy because Vibhuti means opulence. Means let's say that I want to know about you. And let's say that you're a very famous painter. I don't know, but let's say, for example, okay, now one way of knowing about you is I'm going to go in your art gallery and look at your work. That, oh my God, she's such a nice painter, such a nice talent. So I'm appreciating your art, your work. Like that, we are appreciating Krishna's opulences. That is your opulence, right? Your intelligence in that case is your opulence.
The creation. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So there is this. There's somebody is asking. Tell me again. Tell me what is. Clarify doubt. If Krishna chose once again, can we not have both spiritual and material world? Mataji, please unmute yourself. Rita, Mataji. Can we not have both spiritual and material world? This is like asking, can I not be condemned to death and as well as drink some nectar? How can, if you're drinking nectar, how can you be condemned to death? If you're going to be situated in spiritual world, why will you ever want to come back here? Have you heard of people, even at least in the stories, that they were very poor and then they somehow became very rich? Have you heard of people like those?
Yeah.
Okay, so once they become very rich, will they ever want to become poor again?
No, but they can be rich and still pray to God and do job, enjoy nice material life, but still be religious. They will not forget God because they have come from down.
Mataji, there is nothing nice about material life because material life, I'll tell you what it is compared to. Let's say I'm going to lock someone up in a room. Okay, and I'm going to tell them that you can have all the fun that you want. Every single thing that you ever wanted to enjoy, I'm going to provide to you in this room. Every single thing that you ever wanted to do, you're going to get it in this room. But the moment you're going to come out of the room and open the door, I'm going to shoot you. That is material life. You want to enjoy that life where there is death waiting at the opening of a door.
No, not this. This is extreme. Like, see, you're
What
a
is
doctor.
This is the reality. This is the reality. This is not extreme.
Okay, let's be practical. You're a doctor. I'm a lawyer. We have a house. We have car. We have good family life. But still, you're very Krishna conscious. You pray to Krishna. You worship. You do job. But at the same time, you must be having lovely life in America with car and lovely bungalow and family life. So can't we enjoy both? We pray, enjoy both.
There's a difference between the need and want. So, enjoy, Mataji. You can enjoy anything you want, and provided you're seeing a connection with Krishna. Okay, we can enjoy our family, our children, our whatever, but we must remember.
I would like to enjoy not only luxury, but at the same time, I'll be very spiritual also. Is that not possible?
You're telling me to do a dichotomy. You're telling me to do a dichotomy. For
example, look at Ambanis. Ambanis are very, very rich people, but they love God. They do a lot of prayers. They have everything of God. They do donations. They do everything. At the same time, even enjoy a very rich life.
So, Brahma Bhuvanar Loka Punaravartina Arjuna. You can enjoy whatever you want, provided at the end of your life you're going back to Krishna and you're sure about it. It's fine.
Yes.
You have to be sure about it. You have to be sure about the destination, that you're going to Krishna with this enjoyment. So, whatever charity, Krishna says, whatever you give away, whatever you do, whatever activity you're performing, do it as an offering to me. He said that, right? In 7th chapter, we read it. So, if you're doing it, but you have to be 100% sure, and it has to be done under the guidance of a spiritual master.
Yes, I will do all that. At the same time, enjoy my luxury. Is it not possible?
So how come you're enjoying your luxury? That's the conscious.
All the good riches, cars and services of servants and everything, that type of luxury. That's not a necessity, but it's a luxury to have car and servants and all that.
For you, it is a luxury. For me, it is a necessity. But
exactly, this is what I was telling you. You must be enjoying all that in America. At the same time, you're also Krishna conscious.
Okay, I'll say Prabhupada. So let's keep our standard as Srila Prabhupada. Okay, Srila Prabhupada was the owner of 108 temples across the world. He's fabulously rich. Srila Prabhupada was traveling in the best of the airplanes, right? Srila Prabhupada, if you look at Srila Prabhupada's cabins, go to Vrindavan and see Srila Prabhupada's cabin in ISKCON Vrindavan. Very nicely kept, very big. Prabhupada's garden is very beautiful. Just for one person, so many rooms. He has a library, he has a writing room, he has a room where he would rest. He has a room where he would recline in his chair and do japa, and he has a garden. In ISKCON Vrindavan, Prabhupada's cabin is separate. Everywhere in the whole world. Or Golden Palace in West Virginia. The huge palace devotees built for Prabhupada. So Prabhupada has these opulences, right? Prabhupada has so many followers, so many servants. We can say that, right, Mataji?
Right.
But do you think he's enjoying it or he's using it in service for Krishna? What do you think?
He could have done even in one room, but he's having different rooms for everything. So then
you don't go tangential. Don't go, because then it's tark with tark. Argument and logic will never end in understanding of Krishna Tattva? Okay, just answer yes or no, please. You think Srila Prabhupada, having all these opulences given to him by Krishna, he is enjoying them or he is using it in service to Krishna? What is he doing with that?
Some questions cannot be answered in yes
Why
or no.
not? That's the kind of life I want. That, okay, whatever Krishna wants to give, he can give, but my consciousness is, let me not get attached, because attachment is a, Mataji, 3rd chapter, 34th verse. Attachments and aversions can be a stumbling block in the path of Krishna consciousness. So Queen Kunti is a queen. Okay, she is enjoying luxuriously with her 5 sons. Her oldest son is a king of the whole world. What is this small car, 1 servant, 10 servant, or 1 house or 10 houses? She is a mother of a king of the whole world, not 1 tract of land. She is saying, Krishna, give me your remembrance. I want to remember you. These things become distraction, then I don't want them. So if you are trying to be Krishna conscious, that should be the consciousness. If Krishna gives, then you should take it as a mercy and not as that I deserve because I am earning and I'm working and I'm not. Then that's proud. My position. Okay, Mat.
No, not as proud, but as a necessity, we can have that, right?
That's a well, Mataji, again I'm going to say the same thing. You can have whatever you want, provided you are cultivating your consciousness and your remembrance in alignment with Krishna. All these devotees were kings. Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, they're all kings. Parikshit Maharaj, they are not poor people that have lacking something, so let me go to God. No. But they were ruling, they're fully conscious that what is what. Parikshit Maharaj, Bharat Maharaj, everyone. So those should be the ideals. And if you can live like them, then it's fine. Then Krishna will give you more if you will live like them. If not, then Krishna will come as death and take away everything.
Okay, got it.
Okay, my Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Shilpaja Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji, please, in short, elaborate 10.10.
10.10 is Sambandha Abhidaya. That's Abhidaya, the activity. And then
that story you told of Brahmana and cobbler, does it relate to this?
Well, I don't know what connections I make. I don't prepare for classes. I just speak. So I'm sorry if I. So yeah, Tesham Tata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Tadhami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. I personally like this verse a lot because somebody in the path to Krishna may think that this is very difficult. Becoming Krishna conscious is not possible for me in one lifetime. Somebody may think like this, right?
Yeah.
But Krishna is saying, Dami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Upayantite. I will give you the understanding by which you can come to me. Don't restrict yourself by this or that. So, I quoted the story of the cobbler and the Brahmana because it's not that if I am doing a ritual just for the sake of a ritual, but I'm not loving Krishna from the core of my heart, that I'm going to Krishna. No. So even the cobbler had a better understanding of who Krishna is than a Brahmana in that case, right? Why? Because Krishna gave it to him. Why Krishna gave it to him? Because he was sincere.
Means, if I have belief, I have faith in Krishna, then what is, sorry, then what is the need to study all this? Why should I read this
To
all?
reinforce our faith. When we read about, let's say I have faith in Krishna, and now like Arjuna surrenders, right? Arjuna says, yes, I have faith in you, I agree, but can you tell me more? Can you tell me more so that my faith is more strengthened with more knowledge? Knowledge gives the faith a jump start, that yes, this is correct, my faith is correct.
Yeah, and in this 10.10 in the purport, in the explanation, it is Prabhupada has told that if he is not intelligent enough, then Krishna himself gives him understanding, and last he gives him a chance. I want to ask, how can we understand that we are given a chance?
Why you are given a human body, right? That is a chance to go back to Krishna, because you can now decide what you want to do. Do you want to chant Hare Krishna, or you want to sing some Hollywood or Bollywood song? You have a chance. That is your
When we
chance.
we are in material world, okay, and we are not associated with, you know what is the problem also. So my question is that we are not associated, we are far away, okay. Then how can we understand in this mentality? Because there is no association of devotees. Only I get is that online, whatever you tell, that only I get. So how can I understand? Because mentally we are not so conscious about that.
Well, I also miss the personal association, sitting with the devotees and talking and working with them. I also miss that. But at the same time, you can intensely pray to Krishna. Can you please give me? And Krishna will give. Krishna says that Dami Buddhi Yogam Tam. Talk out your desires to him. Krishna, I am very happy. Thank you for giving me the virtual association. Now I seek the personal. So it becomes Krishna's problem to give you that. Okay?
Thank you, Mataji.
You will get, Mataji. You will get. There is no, when one tries to become Krishna conscious, Krishna makes sure that this is done.
One thing I want to share with you. That day you told me, na, if you don't have association, you can create it. It has happened with me for so many years. I'm just reading and chanting and observe fasting. Only these things I do. But by Krishna's mercy, or all of yours mercy, I say, I've got association. Means only where I stay in an apartment. So from here the kids come, and with them I make them chant, and I also chant with them. So that is the thing I get, as we call association.
Very nice. It will grow more and more, Mataji. See, you're already sincere. So fast. It was a couple of days ago. You're so fast it happened.
No, I told you, but this happened. I couldn't share this at that time because the network was not there. I couldn't say this
Very
further.
nice.
Yeah. So by grace of Prabhupada and all you devotees, such a sincere devotees like you all, please pray for us. Please pray for me.
Yes, and you please pray for us. Yes, we will pray for each other.
Thank you,
Sita
Mataji.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Is there any question, Sita Mataji?
There was one that was sent directly to me, and I didn't know how to answer it. Why do we say blessed Lord? Lord is already blessed. I didn't know how to answer that, Mataji.
This is a blessed Lord means, oh, you are so nice. That's a way of addressing. Oh, you're so nice. Oh, you're so great. You can say. You cannot just say Krishna, oh Krishna. You say, oh my dear Krishna. These words, Krishna is called Uttama Shloka. Uttama Shloka means he's prayed by the choice of the words. So these words, what is the use of this word if it is not used in service to Krishna? What is the use? That is why we put these words into use by using them for Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Harish Kumar Prabhu, I was requesting you to unmute. You can unmute.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hi Krishna.
Since childhood days, we have been told to recite Gayatri Mantra, just like Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Now you are communicating to for Krishna consciousness. But since our child days, we prayed different deities with different names. Okay. And after understanding Bhagavad Gita through these days, it's been told that the creator is Lord Krishna. And he feels satisfied even if we pray all these deities. So if we bypass all these deities or chanting Gayatri Mantra and him only Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, will that Krishna consciousness be achieved? Or by doing following all the deities, along with that, if I recite Hare Rama Hare Krishna, that is will satisfactory. Hope I made you understand.
No, you made me understand, but I read a Gayatri mantra is a glorification of Krishna only. Right? I think you're talking about Om Bhur Bhavasva, if I'm not wrong. That's first Gayatri, right?
Yeah,
Is that what
the
yes.
4 lines.
Yeah, so but that's only first Gayatri. So when we chant 7 Gayatris, 7 mantras are there. You only know 1. In Prabhupada gave us 7, and each one of them is very, very intricately connected with Krishna. And the first word Om is also connected with Krishna. So where are you seeing it independence from Krishna? So, Prabhu, I am not telling what you should not do. I am telling please take up chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I'm not saying don't do what you were doing before. That's not my standing. I'm not a spiritual master. Spiritual master can give you that instruction. But my standing in your life is please add Hare Krishna Mahamantra in your life. Please do that. That's it.
Yeah, the value addition. One more mantra will even bring close to Krishna conscious. Am I understood right?
Hare Krishna is called as Mahamantra. It's a mother of every single mantra out there. Hare Krishna has every single thing in it. It's just a matter of our understanding, but it is there. Srila Prabhupada has said it. It's Mahamantra. Everything else is called mantra. Okay, so your understanding is correct that by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we will get the benefit of every single mantra out there or will be there.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, I am second initiated, so I chant Gayatri 3 times a day. That my guru gave me, my spiritual master. But that's different. That's not the same as.
True. See, the thing is, as a child upbringing, we have been shared that this is Mahamantra and you recite this as many times, just like Hare Krishna. Whenever you are free, and you recite within your mind, not aloud. I mean, don't chant loudly within your mind.
Yes, you're correct. And it has to be given by the spiritual master. I cannot give you. Somebody is asking me give 7 Gayatris. I'm sorry. It has to be broken up by your spiritual master. Your spiritual master has to give you that. That is one mantra which has to be given exclusively by spiritual master in the right ear of the disciple. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. Pooja Maskuri Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I have actually interacted in the past with you and Sita Mataji also, and I just had this. Basically, I just wanted to say that I have read the Bhagavad Gita once, and I'm reading it again, but I've never understood it the way it is being explained. So I'm very thankful for actually this initiative, wherein only by reading merely I couldn't understand. So